you can still come to Thailand. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. You can still come to Thailand. Thailand has not closed the borders. Okay, so very important to understand that. All right. Second thing to understand, it doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or not. You can still come to Thailand. Thailand does not discriminate entry based on whether or not you're vaccinated. All right. That is the second thing. So if you don't listen to the rest of this video and that's all you listen to, you can turn it off now and prepare to come to Thailand if you really have to come to Thailand now. All right, let's get into some of the details. So there's a lot of talk about January 15th. What does that mean? Okay. What it means is that remember in December the 1st, they had introduced the test and go system where you only need to test, you need to quarantine for one night, and then that would be it. Okay, so that has been suspended. Okay, let me just use the word straight. Suspended means that they've stopped it temporarily. It doesn't mean that they'll never start it again. That is the official word. They have suspended the happy quarantine process. And as you can see here, from the 11th of January, international travelers from any country around the world, regardless of their vaccination status, can enter Thailand under the alternative quarantine entry scheme. That was a scheme that was there from before the 1st of December. Okay, so that's still available. You can enter Thailand, as you can see from the official TAT News website here. Okay, so you can use a Thailand Pass and do everything, and it's just as normal as before, except you need to do a 7 or a 10-day quarantine. Okay, all right. So that's number one. So about the January 15th, what it means is that if you had a Thailand Pass, you got a Thailand Pass before January 15th, and you're gonna enter with that. Now, you can still enter Thailand, but once you get to Thailand, then you're gonna have to do the 7 to 10-day quarantine, depending on your vaccination status after January 15th. For those coming in before January 15th, which the date of this video is just 3 days away, okay, you're lucky bastards. You can come in, you can do your one night of quarantine, and you're all good to go. But after January 15th, even if you got your Thailand Pass from last year, it's no good. You have to either get a new Thailand Pass. No, the government said that they would be contacting everyone with the Thailand Passes who have entries after January 15th. So you should be getting some kind of email from the Thai authorities. If you haven't, then just be expected to pay for 7 to 10 days of quarantine once you arrive in Thailand. So we've been getting a couple of questions from some people living in like Malaysia, from Cambodia, and so on, talking about entering Thailand via the land borders. Okay. At this point in time, we are not aware. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, but all the research that we've been doing so far, it's not so easy to enter from land borders. And so our advice is if you're coming from a country like Malaysia, Cambodia, and so on, it's just easier to fly into Thailand. Okay, you can just get a Thailand Pass and fly in, and that's it. Okay, you still have to do the quarantine anyway. Another thing that has happened is that there was always the Phuket Sandbox. Okay, so now sorry, I hit the wrong button here. So now they have added extra sandboxes. Okay, not just the Phuket Sandbox, the Blue Zone Sandbox. So as you can see, the list of sandboxes, they've added Krabi, Phang Nga, Phuket, and Surat Thani. Okay, so now you have 4 sandbox areas. Surat Thani actually means like Koh Samui and those islands near to Koh Samui. Okay, so those you can actually get a Thailand Pass to enter into any one of these areas. All right, as well as Bangkok, of course. And you still have, of course, the alternative quarantine areas as well, which includes Bangkok. A couple of people have asked us about Chiang Mai, but we have not seen any quarantine facilities in Chiang Mai, at least at this point. You can check again, and we will check again and update you. But as of now, if you try to do a hotel search with, let's try it right now. Let's go to agoda.com. Maybe this has been updated since that time, and I'm gonna enter Chiang Mai. All right, so, oops, I don't want a discount Agoda. Chiang Mai, okay. So let's pick, let's say from the 1st of February to the 7th of February, okay. Single person, search. Need a quarantine hotel, yes, okay. Let's look at quarantine offers. Let's go again. Chiang Mai, Thailand. I don't really like the search in Agoda. It's not that intelligent, but let's try again. Here and here, here. Okay, let's try again. Chiang Mai, Thailand. Okay. And then we look at quarantine offers, quarantine hotels. Okay, and as you can see, there are no hotels for quarantine in Chiang Mai at this time. So that kind of puts you just into Bangkok. And of course, let's take a look at Pattaya, my favorite place, as you guys know. Okay, so let's take a look at from the 1st to the 7th, one person, quarantine hotel, and search, and there's just one hotel in Pattaya at this point in time, SHA Plus. Yeah, one hotel in Pattaya. Of course, let's take a look at Bangkok. Okay, Bangkok, Thailand. And I want the same days. I search, okay. And let's get a Thailand Pass hotels. And of course, you can see there are hotels now in Bangkok. Like 50 choices. You can check out alternative dates because all of these seem to be filled right now. Okay, so let's look at the different dates. Okay, March to 7. Okay. All right, so here we go again. And now you can see a lot more hotels. So what is this saying actually? Now that I think about it, let's look for February 1st to 7. Okay, one person. And I want to come to Bangkok, enter to Thailand. Okay, Thailand Pass hotels. And here we go. We have limited hotels because what it's kind of telling you is that a lot of people are actually coming to Thailand right now. Okay, so you have less inventory, so you have to try and do your bookings as soon as you can. So the final point about coming to Thailand, and if you're going into any of the sandboxes, you have to get a flight directly to the sandbox. There will be no transfer from Bangkok to the sandbox destinations. Okay. From what I understand, there are flights to Phuket, and then you can transfer from Phuket to any of the other sandboxes. Okay, so as you can see here, they reopened the sandbox program for Krabi, Phang Nga, Surat Thani, and then Surat Thani, as I said before, Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, and Koh Tao. Okay, so yeah, that's it for now, guys. You can still come to Thailand. Don't worry. Everything is the same. You just have to do the quarantine, and of course, travel safely as always. Stay safe. Yeah, the Omicron is has less problems, but we know a lot of people that got sick, and it just puts you into your bed, which you don't want for like a couple of days or weeks or whatever the case may be. So be safe, guys, and see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.
What are you waiting for?
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 Yes, correct. What are you waiting for? The world may not be in a great shape right now, but it's very possible to come to Thailand. It's actually easier to live in Thailand for a longer time than it was before. With One Smile can get you the right long-term visa, find a perfect house, open the local bank account, or even open the business here. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description below or go to bansmile.com and get started.